Being a CEO, manager, action taker, and big dreamer, there are many times that you might not feel as calm in your life. So today we are talking about some of the reasons that you don't feel as calm and 3 helpful tips to allow you to start experiencing more calmness in your life. For those of you that are hopping on live or watching the replay, go ahead and say hi. Go ahead and pop some comments in. I like to see you guys react, to see you guys respond. So hello. If you're new here, go ahead and say hi. I would like to have you introduce yourself and to just say hello and welcome to Verde. So some of the main reasons why you're not experiencing calmness in your life can be different things. One of them being you're trying to figure out what's the best employee to hire, what's the best manager to hire. There can be some nerves that come from that, especially when you have multiple different businesses and you're scaling and you're thinking about, okay, who is going to be smarter than me in ways to run this certain area or have this certain section of the business that they really just take over and thrive with. And there's a lot of trust that also comes with that. So hiring the aligned, I don't love to use this word, but right employee for you in regards to the business. Another reason why you're not experiencing as much calmness is that you're also trying to balance the multiple different businesses while also desiring to work out and eat healthy and be with your kids and be with your partner and be with your family and be with your friends, and all amongst running the multiple different successful businesses. And that can be overwhelming because you're trying to find a balance. You're trying to find time to do all of these different things. And sometimes it feels like there's not enough time in the day to get everything done that you want to get done. And that can feel quite nerve-wracking, or maybe there's some sadness. However, you've learned to also prioritize what needs to be done in certain ways, but even sometimes that can feel confusing in regards to different priorities of how you want to go about things. So a way to experience more calmness as you are navigating transitions, as you're finding your rhythm, as you're growing, as you're scaling, as you're up-leveling, is to do one of these 3 things. And I feel like the last one, I know for the last one for me personally, has been the biggest catalyst in my life. So number 1, 3 things that you can do to start experiencing more calmness in your life. So number 1, I recommend writing this on a piece of paper as you are following along as well too. Number 1 is to breathe. Sometimes as we navigate life, as we're growing, as we're evolving, we hold our breath and we don't remember to breathe. As you breathe, this activates your parasympathetic nervous system. What does that mean? Your parasympathetic nervous system is rest and digest, aka a gateway for you to start experiencing more calmness in your body, quite literally physically. So by breathing, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system, because most of the time, which we don't realize, we actually can be, for some of us, we can be in a sympathetic nervous system state, which that means we are either in fight, like I'm ready to yell at my partner, I'm ready to yell at this manager, I'm ready to yell at this employee. And then after you calm down, you realize, ooh, okay, maybe I could have worded it differently, or ooh, maybe I could have said this differently, right? It's like, how many people have experienced that before? You feel really amped up. There's a lot of heat that's coming up, like a roar that you want to do. And instead of breathing or practicing an emotional regulation tool, which we're going to dive deeper into in the Maison tonight, it just comes out, right? So that can be one. Fight is one. freeze, feeling like your throat clenches. You feel like you're in the midst of people talking to you about these really big conversations about investments and how you want to move your money and different things in that regard. And it just feels like your throat is closing up because there also is a version of you that is, well, we won't go into that, but feeling like your throat is closing up. Another one is flight. So feeling like you want to physically leave the conversation or physically hang up the phone or physically remove yourself from the discussion of what you all are talking about. So fight, flight, freeze are things that you can experience when you're in your sympathetic nervous system. So the goal is to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which again is rest and digest. And we can do this by breathing. Another way that we can activate this goes into number 2 to experience more calmness in your life is to take cold showers and to also be underneath or near a cold fan. So the reason why this is really powerful is, again, it activates our parasympathetic nervous system. So again, rest and digest, because you're also the same way that we talk about reprogramming your subconscious mind. What does that mean? It means to shift your beliefs, shift your thoughts that you have every single day into ones that feel more helpful for you, feel more happy for you, feel more powerful for you naturally. Like those helpful thoughts become your natural default versus the thoughts that are not as fun and not as helpful to think about on the daily. So as we do this, and this is also what I want to share, this is not just something for you to do one time and then you're like, Mallory, why is this not working? This is something that is important for us to do every single day. Why? Because you are, 1, forming a new habit, and 2, you're training yourself that it's okay to physically feel calm. And that might sound a little crazy, like, well, I want to feel calm, so why would I not want to feel calm? And that's something that we dive deeper into in the Maison in a deeper way. So when it comes to tools to experience more calmness, 1, breathing, 2, taking a cold shower, because it activates, both of those activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which again is rest and digest. Even just take a breath with me, in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then the third one, which has been the most transformational in my life, is talking with God. Talking with God. As you talk with God and as you build a relationship with God, and whichever you personally reference, there is this sense of trust that's established. When you are making big moves in your life, when you're transitioning in your life, when you're starting to experience more happiness and things are really going your way, and then something happens and you're like, really? Really, God? Really? Like, has anyone else experienced those moments before in your life? Like, really? Like this one thing had to come up, that this one thing, these continuous things had to just pop up. And it feels like they come out of nowhere. And it feels like we don't have control. And so what I want to say is that in life, some things we cannot control. However, there are more things we can control than we realize. And one of those is our mindset, how we think about things, how we show up, how we calm ourselves down physically, which we're diving deeper into the Maison tonight. And that's an aspect of it. And I find that a very peaceful aspect of it in correlation with that is giving it to God. as you build that relationship, as trust is established that he will continuously show up for you, there can be this sense of calmness as you're really about to hit this big goal that you want to hit, or about to hire and scale the individuals that you've been wanting to hire. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect candidate for this role. And it's not happening fast enough in regards to how fast you want to hire them or how fast you want to have the money or whatever the goals are, whatever the things are. It's this calming sense that God has continuously shown up for you time and 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 time again. And that even when you're feeling scared, or even when you're feeling a little nervous, or even when you're feeling like, oh God, really, please, I don't want to lose out on this deal. I really want to acquire this asset. I really want to hire these people. Whatever it is, it's also trusting that he's got you, and that he's shown up for you time and time and time and time and time again, to where the things that are meant for you will not pass you by. And that the same thing that could cause you to go into fight, flight, freeze, minutes later could change into, oh, sorry, I sent over the wrong numbers. Let me send this over to you. Or a blessing in disguise, even though it might not feel that way at the time. And so that's been one of the greatest calmnesses for me, is experiencing that with him, trusting that no matter what happens, even if you're going through a tough times or navigating tough things in your life with big moves that you're making, even throughout that, it's trusting and knowing that it will all be more than okay, because you have a more than okay life. You have a beautiful life. And you're deserving of that continuous beautiful life as you continuously grow and scale and build. You're deserving of that. And it'll all happen. It will all happen. So those are 3 tools that you can utilize both physically and spiritually to experience more calmness in your life. Let us know how this works for you. And if you would like to join us deeper into exploring the emotional regulation tools that we're going to be talking about tonight, aka the breathing, activating your parasympathetic nervous system, some helpful day-to-day things to start to train yourself to experience more calmness in your life, dive deeper into some secrets is what it feels like to start experiencing that natural calmness, you can comment Maison and join us for the Unlock Yourself Maison membership. I hope you all have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and God is amongst all of you. Have a nice one.